What is up, investors? And Jason here. So, here in 2022, we're seeing a much more bear market with crypto in comparison to what we were seeing in 2021, where crypto was just flying for the most part. Even though we had seen Bitcoin go to lower prices in 2021 than it has gone so far this year, one thing to really think about is, will the federal government help out crypto in 2022? Now, most likely, no, it won't, because while there was a ridiculous amount of money printing throughout 2020 and 2021, and what this had done is this had increased money going into the market, going into the crypto market, going into the stock market. There was a lot of pumping of money going around everywhere. And what has happened now is, of course, this money printing has stopped, and the Fed needs to tighten its balance sheets and raising interest rates and trying to curb inflation. These kind of things is what is really affecting the market right now. It's affecting the stock market, and it's definitely affecting the crypto market, where a lot of what the entire crypto market follows is what the price of Bitcoin does. Now, Bitcoin is really intertwined a lot with what the stock market does. Now, looking over at NASDAQ and looking at when the pandemic had really affected the stock market, right as everything started shutting down. Now, late February, March, things were of 2020. Things were going pretty extreme with the market, where there was so much fear. But then all that money printing started coming in. All this newfound money started hitting the market. Loans became easily accessible, and all this stuff. So we just started seeing the stock market go in this amazing V-shaped correction. And not only that, it just continued rising all throughout 2020 on into 2021. And pretty much, if you would have bought pretty much any stock at that low point in March of 2020 and held on to it all the way into January of 2022, you would have done very well. You would have more than doubled your money, most part, if you would have gotten into like an S&P index, like SPY, for example, or something like that. But when we look at the highs of NASDAQ here, November, December 2021, and then as we had gotten into January, things then tipped over and went south. And we look at the price of Bitcoin. When was Bitcoin at its all-time high? November of 2021. But Bitcoin started going south in December of 2021. A lot of this has to do with the fact that there was a lot of volume activity of selling off of Bitcoin, as we knew, as we were going to start reporting what was going on in the fourth quarter of 2021 for a lot of these institutions. There was a large number of institutions selling off their Bitcoin during this time. So a lot of the volume wedge that we had seen with Bitcoin was due to the institutions jumping ahead of knowing that, interest rates and inflation were things that were going to affect the stock market. So they're the first ones that started selling off. And that's what led in the big falling wedge. And then now we have Bitcoin, holding really strong, though, at this $38,000 support. It's still holding on, even though it's a tiny bit below that at this moment. But Bitcoin is holding on very strong. And if we look at exactly what Bitcoin has been doing from March to now, it's the same thing pretty much across the board with all the other cryptos. Ethereum's doing the same thing. Cardano's doing the same thing. Solana's doing the same thing. Polkadot's doing the same thing. All the cryptocurrencies, all the altcoins out there are really just following what the price of Bitcoin is doing. And the market downturn has been really bad for companies that deal with crypto, like Coinbase, where Coinbase's stock is down more than 50%, where it was at its all-time high in November 2021 when we had seen Bitcoin go to its all-time high, with that massive rally that we had seen with crypto. Now we have Coinbase stock that had gone from a high of $368.90 to now being $123 and some change now at this moment. Now, we look at other companies that have really grown a lot with crypto during 2021, like PayPal, for example. Now we've seen PayPal in this really big drop as well, where we look over at the last 52 weeks of PayPal. PayPal was at $310 at its high. Now, PayPal had reached its high back in July of 2021, and now it is at $90, around $90 right now this time. $310 to $90. Now we look over at Blockstock. Now, Blockstock is down significantly as well, where we had seen it go from a high of about $289 back in August. And now what are we seeing? We're seeing it at around $100 right now at this moment. A lot of consolidation going on with block stock and upcoming earnings. I mean, I'm sure it's going to really change things, but I mean, the same with SoFi. Big drop with SoFi. SoFi going from a high of around $25 to now being around $6.40. MicroStrategies was at a high of $891, and now it's trading for $343. And if we look over at the crypto miners, we look over at companies like Marathon Digital, where we had seen their stock go from a high of around $83 to $16.70. Riot stock, they're trading for around $10, $11 right now. That's from a high of more than $46 that they were at back in November 2021. So this has been a massive drop for crypto-related stocks. So stocks that deal with crypto are having it a lot worse right now, which is something that is worth paying attention to. It's quite significant seeing how a lot of these large companies that were having massive rallies in 2021 are now seeing their stocks down more than 50%. That is definitely something that is worth paying attention to. But for crypto, it doesn't mean necessarily that we're going to continue going more bearish with crypto. We could see crypto go back to being bullish because anything could happen. Now, in a bear market, bear markets are not as long as bull markets. We see bull markets last a lot longer, which is a good thing. So who knows when a bear market is going to end, and who knows when the crypto market can start being bullish again. The entire stock market right now may have a lot of influence on the price of what the price of Bitcoin is doing at this moment, but it doesn't mean it's going to always have that same influence on it, like we've seen in the past. We've seen Bitcoin also do its own thing. So we could see Bitcoin start, going on its own path again and go back into a bull market. But only time will tell when that is going to happen. But anyways, I just wanted to make this to talk a bit about what we've been seeing in the crypto market. I really don't think that we're going to see the Fed have anything that is going to really help out crypto. I think crypto is going to help itself out in the long term here, or in the short term. Whenever it is going to happen, we most likely will see things possibly bounce back at some point. Now, if I was to make a prediction on when the crypto market could turn around, I would think that we could see the crypto market turn around sometime towards the end of the second quarter. So that would be by the end of June, sometime around there, we could see things start turning around. Or if we were going to continue into a bear market with crypto, I would think that sometime within the third quarter, so sometime between July and September of this year, that we could see the price of Bitcoin start to go back on a bull run. That doesn't mean that it's just going to continue trading sideways. That means that the price of Bitcoin can continue going down. So don't misquote me here. We could easily see the price of Bitcoin continue going down. Bull market means that that's when we will see the price of Bitcoin go back into a rally. If it goes back into a rally at $16,000, well, it's going to have a long journey to get to go back to its all-time high. So I'm not trying to mislead anybody here. And this is obviously not financial advice. This is my own personal opinion. But in the long term, definitely, I'm somebody that is absolutely bullish on Bitcoin, and I would like to see Bitcoin go to 100,000 or more. Like I've even said in the past, I would think that we would see Bitcoin do that. But right now, the market is definitely too bearish to see such a thing. But in the long term, of course, anything can happen, and that's why we're optimistic, and that's why we invest for the future. But anyways, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. When do you guys think that we're going to see the crypto market go back to being bullish? I'd like to know. So with that being said, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New content coming out all the time. Thank you guys.